covering for Renee, who's the president of Urban Financial, one of our sponsors. Each week is Delaney's Roofing and Restoration, our two sponsors of the show. Tommy has a degree in finance from the University of Houston. He's a native Houstonian and didn't start, he was brought up in a whole nother industry and somehow made his way to the mortgage business. He's been with Renee and Urban Financial since 2002, does all the training of all the loan officers, decides where your loan should go, who's the best bang for the money, and it's probably Renee has to come to you to find that information out. Isn't that right, Tommy?
That's right. Thank you, Steve.
And we're going to talk about the industry he was born into versus decided on, which is the restaurant business, in just a few minutes. But what a great show we have lined up for you today. I want to turn first to the real estate market. I always bring in a top real estate agent from the pages or the cover of my Real Estate Executive magazine. It takes a 23-member vote once they nominate an individual. It's about their passion, it's about their knowledge, it's about their priorities, and David was on our cover in November 2005. Is that right, David?
Yes, sir.
It's hard for me to remember that far back. Yes, it was. And David, again, is with RE/MAX Professional Group, the David Flory team, ranked by the Houston Business Journal and ranked by RE/MAX Texas. Does an amazing amount of transactions a year. If you want to ask a question in real estate, you ask people actually work in the business. And David's got over 600 transactions a year. He says he could be number one or number two agent in Houston, but doesn't have to work that hard. No, he works incredibly hard and does a great job. David, once again, welcome back to the show. We're so glad you chose to join us today. I know I had to threaten you to get you here because see, David's kind of a laid back, very quiet man. He is for real, and it's like pulling teeth just doing his interview for the cover story. I threatened to come to his house if he didn't agree to be and actually move in. Got a beautiful home. So, and he came anyway. Is that great? What a guy. Well, David, tell me a little bit. I know that, like Tommy, your first career path wasn't residential real estate. I think your folks had design on you being a dentist first. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And did you actually practice dentistry, or did you decide to get into some other industry?
Well, I decided after attending dental school that wasn't what I wanted to do, and that was back in 1979. And after talking to several dentists that said they had to do it over again, they wouldn't become dentists, I decided to change professions. And in 1979, I became a licensed realtor, and that's when I started in that business.
Did you start out with RE/MAX?
No, back when I originally started out, I think back then the largest company was Century 21, and that's what I started out with. I wanted to go through with number one at the time.
Excellent. Well, tell me this, David. With over 600 transactions a year, that's both sides. You work with both buyers and sellers, correct?
That's correct.
With over 600 transactions a year, what's your take on the Houston real estate market now? Is it as bad as the national media makes it out to be?
Well, when I hear the national news, I kind of sit there and smile to myself, and I hope it's not brainwashing too many people, because since I've been in real estate, even when I started in the business, they said Houston does the opposite of what the nation does. And my experience has been in business, that's been pretty much the take all along. And so a lot of this doom and gloom that you hear out there, it's national news. It's definitely not the local here in Houston. I have an article in front of me, and it's by the Census Bureau, and it says Houston #1 in housing in the United States of the 50 largest cities.
Wow.
And we're, in terms of growth, of number of people moving into the city, in terms of housing starts, we're just doing phenomenal. In terms of even foreclosures, we're way lower on the list compared to what the rest of the nation is, percentage-wise.